Michael, what is the audio this time?
A comparison of the LUXMAN L-505Z integrated amplifier and the Marantz Model 40 in-network amplifier.
So, this is a comparison of amplifiers with and without network functionality.
The two are priced the same at 385,000 yen.
They are rivals because they are the same price. Master would love to hear a comparison of amplifiers with and without network functionality, wouldn't you?
Yes, I want to hear it.
What were the results?
I thought there would be a difference between LUXMAN and Marantz, but there wasn't that much difference. The L-505Z had the stronger bass, and the Model 40N had the opposite, lighter bass.
What equipment did you use?
I used Amazon Music, a WM Pro Plus network streamer, an SM Cell Do 300EX DAC, and B&W 705S3 speakers. The network function of the Model 40N was not used this time, but the WM Pro Plus and Do 300EX were used as the network function.
The Model 40N is a network amplifier, but you did not use that function?
I wanted to compare the sound purely as amplifiers. The price is identical, and what about the two units as amplifiers? I think there are a lot of people who think it is a good idea. Let's start with the front panel. The L-505Z is blaster white, and the Model 40N is black, so they are completely different.
How about the texture of the front panel?
The two units have different atmospheres, but both are quite nice that, if anything, the L-505Z, with its large meters, has a more luxurious feel. The only difference is that the L-505Z has a switch for switching between MM and MC. The Model 40N has only MM. Also, L-505Z has a separate switch. This is a mechanism to drive the preamplifier and power amplifier separately. The Model 40N does not have such a switch on the panel, but it is possible to separate the pre and power amps from the input switch. The L-505Z has two headphone jacks, a 6.3mm and a 4.4mm jack. The Model 40N has only one 6.3mm jack. The L-505Z has more functions as a pure amplifier.
How are the two units performing?
This is a simple comparison chart. The L-505Z has a higher rated output. The L-505Z has a higher damping factor. The L-505Z has more power as an amplifier. However, the harmonic distortion ratio and signal-to-noise ratio of the Model 40N are better. As for specifications, the Model 40N is not bad.
The main difference is the network function.
Yes, the DAC is the main feature of the Model 40N. However, the DAC chip in the Model 40N, the ES9016K2M, is a popular class from ESS.
Does this mean that you did not spend much on the DAC since it is an amplifier with network function?
The Model 40N is based on a standard Class AB amplifier, to which we have added network functionality. The cost to the digital portion of this equipment would increase the price.
Is the L-505Z also a Class AB amplifier? By the way, what is a Class AB amplifier?
Let's take a closer look at amplifiers. There are four types of amplification: Class A, Class B, Class AB, and switching. Class A amplifiers are always in operation, and current continues to flow through them during the entire cycle. The advantage of a Class A amplifier is low distortion and high sound quality. The disadvantages are low efficiency and high heat generation due to constant operation. In a Class B amplifier, one transistor operates when the input signal is positive half cycle and the other operates when the input signal is negative half cycle. The advantage of a Class B amplifier is its high efficiency. The disadvantage is crossover distortion. Crossover distortion is the noise that occurs when signals are switched between positive and negative periods of Class B operation. Class AB amplifiers combine Class A and Class B operation and use only the good parts. At low output, Class A operation is used, and at small signals, both transistors are turned on slightly. At this time, crossover distortion is low. At high output, Class B operation is used, with one transistor turned off and the other turned on for large signals. In this case, crossover distortion occurs. Class AB amplifiers are designed to balance the high sound quality of Class A amplifiers with the high efficiency of Class B amplifiers, and are still the most common type of amplifier in use today.
What kind of amplification does a switching amplifier provide?
The Class A, B, and AB amplifiers we have been talking about are linear amplifiers. They are called switching amplifiers because they perform amplification by switching rather than linearly. A linear amplifier continuously amplifies the input signal. The output signal is amplified while maintaining the same waveform as the input signal. In contrast, switching amplifiers operate transistors in on and off states. The input signal is converted to a pulse width modulation or other digital signal and amplified by switching at high speed. The advantage over linear amplifiers is high efficiency and low heat generation, but the disadvantage is high noise due to switching. Marantz has a switching amplifier product, but the Model 40N is Class AB.
What is the difference in the rear terminals?
The rear terminals are quite different. The Model 40N has more terminals because it is network compatible. Only the Model 40N has USB-A, LAN, HDMI ARC, digital input, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth antenna, and subwoofer output. The Model 40N has by far the most things one unit can do. On the other hand, only the L-505Z has analog balanced input, pre-outs, trigger, and 2 sets of speaker terminals. The pre-out terminal is for using the L-505Z as a preamplifier. It can be driven by an external power amplifier or bi-amped. The trigger terminal is for operating in conjunction with an external device. There are 2 sets of speaker terminals for bi-wiring connections.
The terminals on the rear panel differ greatly depending on whether the network function is enabled or disabled.
Yes, there is. The L-505Z does not have a network function, so it has more functions as a pure amplifier.
What about the power cable?
The power cable of the L-505Z is of higher quality. The power cable for the L-505Z is also sold separately. They have polarity markings, and the connectors are of good quality. The Model 40N looks cheap, in common with other Denon and Marantz products. The shape of the remote control is very different. The L-505Z is compact, and the Model 40N is long and thin. The texture is nice for both. The L-505Z remote control has a silver body with black buttons, making it easy to use. The remote control for the Model 40N has a black body with black buttons. It is a little hard to see because it is the same black.
Was there much difference in sound?
Yes, I thought the Model 40N might be inferior to the Model 40N because of the DAC and other features, but I didn't notice much difference. However, as I said at the beginning, the center of gravity of the bass is more solid in the L-505Z. It feels more powerful. And the detail in the mid and high frequencies is different. I think it depends on your taste. The Model 40N has a lighter sound. but there are some people who prefer it. I prefer L-505Z, but Model 40N is also fine. By the way, because of the difference in terminals, the L-505Z has a balanced connection with the DAC and a bi-wiring connection with the speakers. The Model 40N has an unbalanced connection with the DAC and a single-wired connection with the speakers. I thought the L-505Z had the advantage in terms of conditions, but there was not that much difference.
So, is the Model 40N with network functionality a better value for money?
The Model 40N is probably the best value for money. However, we did not use the network function of the Model 40N in this test. We used an external network streamer and DAC. This is one of the reasons why the Model 40N did so well. The SMSL DAC used in this test was Asahi Kasei's top-of-the-line AK4499EX chip. The DAC built into the Model 40N is an ESS chip in the popular price range. I think this is a big difference.
Are you saying that the sound quality is improved because the DAC in the Model 40N is not used?
That's my guess. Even though the L-505Z and the Model 40N are the same price, the L-505Z always requires an external device. On the other hand, the Model 40N only needs speakers to produce sound. This is a big difference.
Which do you recommend?
If you have the money to buy an external network device, I would say the L-505Z, but if you want to use only one device, the Model 40N would be sufficient.
Master, which one do you want?
Yes, I'm torn.